Yo, it's Dan Larsson for Ghosthack, and today I want to show you an awesome rack that can create really nice guns for your Tearout production. Let's jump right into it.
Cool, so we have the drums. So there's just one kick from Ghosthack producer library and a clap on it. Now what I did to the clap is I transposed it down by 5 semitones. I added an overdrive, some EQing to boost more on the mid, and a reverb. Now be careful with the level, because if you crank it up too high, it basically kills the kick, and that is not a good thing, so keep it right balanced. Okay, so let's talk about the sub first, because I think that is a very important part of this beat. It's very rumbly, so on itself. Okay, so it is very simple. The only thing you need to grab is the pitch movement on it. So as you can see, I'm just using an analog BD sine with some crunch using the filter. And that creates some really nice overtones. And there's nothing in the effects, as you can see. I'm using 2 instances of pitch movement, one on the beginning of the sound, so without that, you can hear a kind of kicky sound, and one using LFO2 on the same thing. So basically in the matrix you can see LFO acts like a very slow vibrato, and envelope 2 is basically just the punch on the sub. But they both needed to create this very heavy kind of thing along with the drive inside the filter. So this is the sub, pretty simple stuff. Okay, so I love these guns because you can find so cool colors, but at the same time, this whole workaround is very simple. So let me open up the rack. I have 2 samples. The second one is basically just for the top end. You can replace it with anything really. So I'm using the Dubstep Essential Percussions. Maybe we can use this clap instead. So it's really up to your taste. And I'm using another instance of percussion, and that is the 8th one. So for that sound you need a sample that already has some low end, so we can mess it up with. So the first thing that I did is obviously find a sweet spot for the pitch of the sample. I really like the highest pitch, but on 26 it sounds so cool. First I had to add a pedal to distort the sound a little, adding a little more compression and a little more highs to it. So as you can hear, the distortion is an important part of that. The second part is that you already know, I guess, the disperser inside Ableton, using several instances of EQ3s, and I mapped the low frequency and the high frequency split to macro 1. Now the trick here is I used this MIDI envelope to modulate this frequency splits. So without that, so if it does not move, the whole sound is very different. So let me deactivate them. So as you can see, this effect is very powerful. Now I'm not sure how you can do that using the kilohertz disperser, because if you are an FL user, probably that might be interesting for you. Oh, okay, so here is the frequency. You can map it to the frequency too. So what I do is just click on map and on the frequency, and yeah, add some range to it. So as you can hear, the effect is a lot different if you modulate the frequency. And next I use a preset from the hybrid reverb library, the car garage. And what I changed is only the size and the decay to shape the sound that this hybrid reverb creates. So at around 60, I think it sounds great, and you don't need to go really crazy with the decay. You don't need very, very long decays. Maybe we can make it shorter. Okay, but in the EQ, you definitely had to boost these mid frequencies at around 1.6K. Because basically that is the interest of the sound inside the reverb, of course. Without the reverb, you miss that huge, like very crazy reverby sound, obviously. Okay, so basically this is the sound itself, and as you can see with the color, you just change the transposition of the main sample. But also you can play around with the disperser frequency for different effects. So the possibilities are endless with this little rack, and I think this is a really nice example what you can do with the disperser effect inside Ableton, or if you're an FM user, you can use a disperser from Kilohertz. I love it.
Also, don't forget to subscribe to Ghosthack site. See you guys next time. Peace.